Hello there, dear viewer. Today I want to talk about Godzilla, and more specifically, Godzilla Minus One has just had a 4K release from all the anime in the UK, and this is it. So I'm going to show you what you get in this collector's edition box for the film. I'm going to talk about what I think of the film itself, and this is a time to be a fan of Godzilla, isn't it? Because we recently had the Criterion 4K of the original Honda 1950s Godzilla film. Criterion just recently announced they're doing Godzilla vs. Biollante on 4K. So it very much feels like Godzilla is part of the zeitgeist. And after the huge success of Godzilla Minus One, I believe there is another film in the works from Yamazaki, and that should be something to look forward to. But anyway, let's wind it back. What is Godzilla Minus One? Well, the title is a fun play on the fact that this is a prequel of sorts, or a new origin story for Godzilla. This story is set in post-war Japan, and Godzilla emerges and causes havoc. And the main character we follow is this fighter pilot who had a chance at perhaps taking out Godzilla before he could cause a load of havoc, but he didn't pull the trigger, and he is filled with this immense guilt because he was meant to be a kamikaze pilot during the war, and he obviously is still alive, so he didn't do his main purpose during the wartime. So when we see him returning home and seeing the destruction that has been caused at home, he's faced with rejection from some people because they see him as letting lots of people die just so he could save himself. So although this is a Godzilla kaiju scale film, it is really about the people and the emotions of the central characters and the conflict that they are feeling within themselves about what has gone on during World War II. So it's a very deep film, while at the same time being very entertaining if you just want a Godzilla film. And the film looks amazing because director Takashi Yamazaki was a visual effects artist before stepping into the director's role. So there was no chance that Godzilla was going to look bad in this film with him at the helm. And I love the look of Godzilla because it is authentic to the original 1950s Godzilla, and it kind of ties in with what Shin Godzilla looked like, which I think Yamazaki worked on that as well. Things such as Godzilla's scales, his skin, the eyes have that iconic old Godzilla vibe to it. So this is very much not the Godzilla we have seen in Hollywood with Godzilla vs. King Kong, etc. Plus all of the visual spectacle within this film, from Godzilla himself to all of the brilliant water sequences and the effects of the water, and the locations and costumes throughout the film, they all look brilliant on the 4K disc. This has Dolby Vision HDR, it also has Dolby Atmos sound, and while I can't say for certain, I think this is probably the presentation on 4K that has been available in Japan and in the United States as well. So they should all look very similar. So I suppose let me show you what is in this deluxe collector's edition packaging. So you can see it comes in a rigid hard box, and I don't know if you'll be able to make it out on the camera, but this has a textured feel to it. So it's meant to be like Godzilla's scales. So it has this embossed, ridged effect, I guess you'd call it. And it's a really nice feature, and the artwork wraps around to the back, which I guess is also the front, with the Godzilla Minus One logo and Godzilla's face. As you can see, we have no ratings logos or company logos on the set, apart from on the very bottom. So this is a brilliant collector's piece to have on display in your home if you are a big fan of the film, which I certainly am. So this is not going to go on the shelves behind me. This is going to go somewhere on the wall, which you can't see on camera, but I have a few shelves over there for the display pieces like this. So let's see what is inside. We have the digipack, which holds all of the discs. Now there are 4 discs within this, and it folds out with that artwork. The first disc is of course the film in 4K, and from what I recall there are no special features on there. You also get the Blu-ray of the film, but then we come to something very interesting, is a different version of the film, which is Godzilla Minus One /C. So I guess it's minus colour. This is Godzilla in black and white. Now this is only on a Blu-ray. I do kind of wish this was on a 4K disc as well. And in fact, on the back of the J card, it does actually say Godzilla Minus One /C in 4K. So there's some kind of miscommunication between the set and the piece of paper on the back. But yeah, Godzilla Minus One C is not in 4K. And then lastly, you get the bonus feature Blu-ray disc. This includes making of the film. There's a feature on the visual effects. There's some event footage from the premiere and from a press conference, and there is a collection of trailers on there as well. And then the other thing you get is a booklet. It is a booklet in landscape format. There are lots of behind the scenes things. There's a really interesting piece about the color grading of the film and then changing it for the minus color version. So I loved reading about that. There are some images on the conversion process of the colors as well. So some real nerdy stuff, but this is the kind of thing that I'm into. So a fantastic inclusion in the collector's edition. So having watched Godzilla Minus One on the 4K disc, it really has me in Godzilla mode now. I think I'm going to go back and watch some of the Showa era movies, and I look forward to what might come next from the creators of this film and Godzilla in general. Click the video on screen right now if you would like some more recommendations and reviews from myself. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.